Washington Grown is brought to you by the Potato Farmers of Washington. Learn why Washington is home to the world's most productive potato fields and farmers by visiting potatoes.com. Also brought to you by Treetop and the Washington Hospitality Association.
Hi everyone, I'm Christy Goranson. On Washington Grown, we take you to the four corners of the state to show you how our food is grown, from apples to potatoes to beef. In this episode, we're going to take a look at one commodity that not a lot of people get to see, how our chicken is raised. We'll head to Seattle to hunt down Chef Tariq Abdullah and his highly sought-after pop-up restaurant, Morning Star Brunch.
People like the idea of finding something that's just exclusive for like that one time.
Then we're off to one of Foster Farms' chicken ranches to see how the animals are cared for. And we'll chat with a Washington 4-H member to see how he prepares his poultry for show. You're probably laughing inside right now, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
You were so polite.
Even if I was, I have seen worse.
All that and so much more today on Washington Grown.
Hey, look at that! It really is a family affair.
Cheers. Cheers.
Oh,
look at
gosh.
that. Yeah.
I'm in Seattle at a type of restaurant I've never been to before, a pop-up restaurant. This rising trend in the Pacific Northwest is a great way for new and young chefs to try out their skills without the large investments of opening a restaurant. Chef Tariq Abdullah is a well-known pop-up restaurant chef in Seattle, so I'm checking out his popular Morning Star Brunch at the Royal Room.
When you have the opportunity to go, everything else becomes secondary to that.
It's a little bit different every time, which is great. Lots of variety. And it's a small menu too, so it doesn't get overwhelming.
I didn't actually totally know what to expect, but it's just, I don't even understand everything that's in here. It's so yummy.
I had a chance to sit down with Chef Tariq, and my first question I asked him was, what is a pop-up restaurant?
Basically, you pop up in a place, you disappear, and you pop up again. And you're not tied into anything. You know, you find a space, you invite some friends or the public, and you create something for a night, and you disappear, and you decide, like, am I doing it again or not?
Why did you decide to do a pop-up restaurant as opposed to like a brick and mortar?
I just felt like what it made more sense to do is to really make a name for myself, a good way to try out a lot of my recipes and to see if I can create something that's strong enough for the next step. It's all about creating a memory for my students, for myself, and of course for the guests. So, you know, it's all about the experience.
Later in the show, Chef Tariq is going to teach me how to make a saffron chicken dish.
And there you have it.
I love it, yay!
Nice job, nice job there.
With chicken being such a staple of the American diet, Tomas is off to Woodland to meet with Rob Rubottom, a chicken farmer for Foster Farms.
So tell me why we're all suited up.
Well, it's really important that we keep anything that may harm the birds from entering this chicken house. And this isn't for you. This is actually to protect our birds.
Are you sure? Because I make this look good. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you do.
Even with our suits on, Rob explained it's really important to do one last spray down before we enter the chicken house.
There's a lot of birds in this room.
There is.
How many birds are we looking at?
We place approximately 18,000 birds in each one of these houses. And there's 4 houses there.
1,000 birds.
Yep.
Now, how long will they stay in this facility?
From here, we'll go right at market to the processing plant at about 46 days.
Wow. So tell me about what you're feeding them. How do you care for these birds?
Well, everything is done, pretty much a lot of it's done automatically. The house environment is automatic. It's computer controlled, turns on fans for ventilation, air quality, airflow movement. The feeders and waters are automatic by demand. They can eat and drink whenever they want. We monitor them continuously through the day, and during the good part of the night, we monitor their actions and what goes on in here to make sure that we're providing the very best environment for them as we can.
Rob said they feed the chickens a corn-soy ration that is specially formulated by a nutritionist.
So I'm seeing a lot of these little red spigots. Tell me about these guys.
These are called nipple drinkers.
Nipple drinkers.
Right, and they're a completely enclosed system, which keeps the water a lot more sanitized than an open trough drinker or something like that.
Okay, right.
And
because it's just not exposed to
right,
the
and
elements,
the bird just triggers it.
And that's all it takes.
Right, and they trigger it. They don't actually drink out of these cups. They're actually drinking out of the water that comes out of the nipple.
Oh, okay, so it's
the cup is just a catch cup to try to keep our litter as dry as we possibly can.
Rob explained another way they keep the ground dry is by using kiln dry shavings for their litter. And to maintain a clean environment, they regularly clean out the shavings.
So I'm looking around here and I'm seeing some big birds.
Right.
So other than what they're being fed, do you guys add anything else to these chickens to plump them up?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I know that there has been myths around for years about hormones and those types of things, and the federal government does not allow that. We would never attempt to do that, and we really don't want them to grow any faster than they do.
Right.
Because they could get too big. We don't want that either.
They are just naturally big on their own based on the natural feed that you're giving them.
Give them the feed in the right environment and they will grow.
That's excellent. Well, Rob, thank you so much for letting us come in here and get a little peek behind the Foster Farms curtain.
You bet.
This is an impressive facility, and it's a great facility. I want to thank you so much for all your hard work.
Well, we appreciate you coming out. We're very proud of what we do with the birds.
Chickens have crossed dirt paths and paved roads for thousands of years and have made their way into nearly every cuisine from the Americas to Asia to Africa. It's no wonder that chicken soup is an international home remedy superstar for treating colds and flu. Researchers suspect that chicken's healing properties are contained in many nutrients released during cooking, which bolster immune function and may reduce inflammation. Chicken's nutritional clout is connected to its impressive levels of protein, B vitamins, and minerals, with the darker meat containing slightly more iron than light meat. Its skin contains both protein and fat, making chicken wings a popular appetizer. Fortunately, the fat content of chicken is primarily monounsaturated, which is a type of fat recommended by the American Heart Association. Chicken is also a major protein source within the long-lived Mediterranean areas. And in many countries, chicken's feet, liver, and gizzard are considered delicacies, which haven't been fully embraced in America. Commercial chicken meat, also known as broiler chicken, has an exceptional ability to combine its unique flavors and textures with a variety of grains, fruits, and vegetables. Another plus for chicken is its manure is coveted by gardeners due to its beneficial nutrients, which support healthy soil microbes. The 2017 Chinese zodiac is the year of the rooster, which represents leading by your instincts. Perhaps that's why the chicken is always able to cross the road.
Coming up, we're cooking a chicken dish with pop-up restaurant chef Tariq Abdullah. We're back in Seattle with Chef Tariq Abdullah, a popular chef known for his pop-up restaurants.
I think people like the idea of finding something that's just exclusive for like that one time. A menu today, and then I gotta wait 2 more weeks to try something else from that guy or that gal again. It's like, it makes you want, crave to eat at that spot again. And it's a really good time. I love what I do. I get to honestly see people happy and enjoy, and I see a lot of empty plates. So I'm doing something right.
While Chef Tariq does a wide variety of pop-up restaurants, I was able to check out his Morning Star Brunch.
The best way to do Morning Star Brunch, though, is to come with at least 6 people so that one person orders everything and then you just share around.
She likes to have biscuits. Just biscuits. She will just order biscuits for days.
Now I'm headed back into the kitchen to learn how to cook up one of Chef Tariq's Moroccan-inspired chicken dishes. So what are we making?
Okay, so today we're making a Moroccan-inspired dish called Djaj saffron, which Djaj in Morocco means chicken.
Djaj?
Djaj.
Djaj.
Our first step is to sprinkle some kosher salt on both sides of the chicken. Then we lightly saute one side on a hot pan coated with some olive oil.
There we go, and then what we'll do, we'll let that go for about a minute or so,
Okay.
and then it's gonna go into the oven, okay?
While the chicken cooks in the oven, we start making the couscous by putting some water in a pan. Then we add butter and olive oil. Once the water comes to a boil, we add the couscous.
So now we've added our couscous, we stirred it.
Yep.
We're just gonna put a lid on it like so, just cover it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna let that water, let that liquid absorb.
While our couscous absorbs the water, we take our chicken breast out of the oven.
Now, we're gonna make our sauce.
Okay.
So, that chicken,
We're gonna save
we're
that.
gonna use this pan to make our sauce. Now, what's one thing you've noticed I've always had in my hand?
This.
Yes, because this is, of course that's gonna be hot, and I like the idea of constantly cleaning as I go, but definitely try to keep a hot mitt if you're gonna
need to talk to my
constantly.
husband.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, husband
What do
out
you
there,
need
gonna
as
let
you
you
go?
know really quick, you need to have one of these. It's very, very important, okay?
To start the sauce, we pour a cup of chicken stock into the hot pan, then add some crushed tomato. Once the sauce starts to boil, we finish it with a little saffron and butter.
See, the trick is now, since you want nice rich sauce, you have to work the butter with the sauce. What I like to do, just constantly work the pan with the butter until it comes together.
Yeah.
Once the sauce is mixed together, we go back to our couscous. We add a little olive oil and start to break it up with our hands. Then we add some currants, almonds, mint, and a quarter cup of chopped cilantro. We mix that together, and now we're ready to plate it.
We're gonna take our chicken, and I'm just gonna slice this for us. Then we go in with our sauce.
And this is chicken, couscous, and a sauce. So simple, but the way you're doing it makes it look really special and fancy.
Hey, why not? Why not look just as fancy as
Yeah.
anyone else? And there you have it.
I love it. Yay.
Nice job. Nice job there.
Now it's time to dig in.
It's so delicious. That was just an ordinary chicken breast into something extraordinary. And it was easy.
Yeah, totally.
Tariq, thanks.
Very welcome.
That was awesome.
Yeah. No problem. That's what we do over here.
That's
we
right.
feed the people.
Feed the people.
Nice.
I'm gonna feed me some more.
To get the recipe for Chef Tariq's chicken dish with jeweled couscous, head over to wagrown.com.
I'm here with Professor Alan Felsot, and we're at the WSU campus in Richland, Washington. And what exactly do you do here at WSU?
Well, I'm a professor here. I teach biology courses. I teach graduate courses in environmental toxicology. So yes, we do talk about pesticides as one of the things we talk about.
Okay, well, let's talk about insects and pesticides and that sort of thing. Do people know what pesticides are, or do you think people are a little confused?
So pesticides is a catch-all term. It includes insecticides, things that kill nasty insects. It includes herbicides, things that kill the weeds, things we don't want. It includes fungicides, rodenticides, and on and on.
I asked Alan about research regarding how pesticides affect humans.
All chemical structures at some level, concentration or dose to the body, are going to be toxic. It doesn't really matter. The question about toxicity is, are the levels that might be out there in the environment or that you're exposed to on your food, are those high enough to cause any physiological and or biochemical reaction? So there's no different set of principles that you would use to answer that question for pesticides than you would use to answer the same question for natural biochemicals. You know, some plants produce medicinal products that you can make extracts of. Some of these have actually been found to be toxic even when they're formulated or compounded and then sold as natural products in the grocery store.
You know, just by eating like too much sugar, too much salt, or
Right.
do you think people have misconceptions about the chemicals that are used?
I think people have misconceptions about all of chemistry. So you actually have to understand them from a deep chemistry level to kind of know, well, is it going to hurt you or not? And this is where the exposure comes in. This is why you need to know how much because that question of how much and whether it might harm something is based on the principles that affects all chemicals, whether they're natural biochemicals or synthetic chemicals.
I asked Alan if people should care about their food coming in contact with pesticides.
Concern is a good thing. It just means mindfulness. Now, there's been a lot of studies looking at the amounts of pesticide residues that are left on commodities. Agencies like the Environmental Protection Agency, they decided that even if there is some of this chemical residue left over after spraying, it's not going to hurt a human being. So that information is out there. Just dig deeper.
I like that idea. Get informed.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
The chicken is so versatile and can be prepared in so many different ways. Well, today it's one of my favorites, Jamaican Jerk style. We're here with the Jamaican Jerk Pan food truck in Spokane at a local teachers event, and we're gonna take some of their awesome chicken around and see if it makes the grade. Do you guys enjoy chicken?
I love chicken.
How often would you say you have it?
Almost every day.
Almost every day?
I actually eat chicken more than anything else.
Probably at least twice a week.
I don't know, 4 to 5 times a week.
What's some of your favorite ways to prepare that chicken?
I love curry chicken. I usually like to do like a lemon pepper chicken.
Usually it's stir fry on Sunday.
Okay.
And usually it's chicken salad, over a salad on Thursday.
Grill it, bake it, barbecue.
Well, I personally like it fried, but we don't eat it much fried.
Have you tried Jamaican Jerk?
I have not.
This is your day. I want you to go ahead and pick one of these up. It is served along with a little slaw and something called a festival, which is just a Jamaican breadstick, essentially.
Take your cup.
Okay, I'm gonna take this.
There you go. Describe what you got there.
Try not to talk with my mouth full.
First of all, the chicken is really tender.
It's got a little spice.
Oh, I like it very much.
I'd say it's a little bit more on the sweet side than the salty side.
It is good, and I love spicy.
Yeah, good and spicy.
I like the tangy. It's pretty good.
This is Brazil.
I know. Well,
We're
I
doing
know
this for
we're
the
getting
Olympics.
we're getting a little bit of culture here.
Yeah.
This would change it up, definitely. Add a little variety to my
That's right, because it's actually Jamaica, but that's okay
Jamaican, yeah. Jamaica's close to Brazil.
Is it something I can easily make at home?
I think so. I think there's like sauces and things like that you can buy.
I'm glad I don't teach social studies.
4-H is America's largest youth development organization, impacting nearly 6 million kids. Today I'm meeting with Jacob Griffin, an 8th grader who raises ducks, geese, and chickens and shows them at different 4-H events. So what makes a good show chicken?
A good show chicken would be a good bird without any defects or disqualifications. Like a defect would be the bird's like missing toes, like she's missing toes, so I'm not gonna show her, I will show Napoleon. And then a disqualification is like faking a bird, like his tail's supposed to be arched. If his tail wasn't arched, like I put extra feathers in there that are fake to make his tail arched, that would be faking it.
People do that?
Yes, they do that. That is a
Really?
very wrong way to show.
That is a wrong way to show, that's right. Jacob said that to prepare his birds for a show, he first must give them a bath, and that starts by rinsing the bird off in a bucket of water.
Okay, you can let her float if you want.
Oh, let her float.
Chickens do float.
Yeah. Of course they do. I don't know a lot about chickens. Do you run into that a lot? And do you laugh at people who sometimes don't know, or do you try to educate them?
I try to educate them.
Good for you. You're probably laughing inside right now, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
You are so polite.
Even if I was, I have seen worse. It's okay, then we'll put her in the soap water. If you want, you can like ruffle up her feathers and get the soap in between her feathers.
Yeah. Once we got the soap in between all of her feathers, we put her back into the plain water and rinse off the soap. Then we put her in a vinegar rinse.
Okay, now while she's just floating around,
Okay.
I'm gonna prepare the towel for her.
Prepare the towel.
Sometimes in fluffy birds, like and silkies, where their feathers are not really like feather type, they're like just hair.
Yeah, more.
You would use like a blower, like a hair dryer, or maybe like a shop vac turned on
really?
backwards.
Are
And just
you
blow 'em out.
serious? That's awesome.
But while
What are
she's
you doing, Alice?
while she's doing drying off, we can just let her dry off. There you go.
Next, we put a little bit of bag balm ointment on her comb and around her eyes. While she's drying, I asked Jacob what is the key to taking care of his birds.
It takes a lot of practice, a lot of work, and you can't just like buy a bird, go out and feed it every day. You have to be out there and just be out there, hang out with your bird. And I've actually come to really enjoy hanging out with birds.
Really?
They make great friends.
You talk to them?
Yeah.
Now that I've seen firsthand how well Jacob cares for his birds, I wanted to learn more about 4-H. So I spoke to his mom, Dory, and asked her how 4-H has helped shape Jacob.
We've been involved in 4-H for about 4 years. And when we first started 4-H, he literally could not look at anybody in the eyes. Literally couldn't shake your hand, couldn't talk to anybody. Very, very shy young man. And you saw him today. I really believe 4-H has brought all that wonderfulness out of him. It has taught him so much. I love 4-H.
4-H also teaches kids about like raising food and growing food and that sort of thing too, right?
It sure does. It teaches them that not only are they raising an animal and learning about this animal. I mean, when you're in 4-H, you're learning, let's talk beef for instance, you're gonna learn the cuts of beef. You're gonna learn what that meat, what part that comes from. So as a child showing a beef animal or a hog animal, they're gonna know this is a market animal. Yes, I may get attached to it, and it is hard. I cried when my daughter sold her cow. It was hard for me, but I knew and she knew that that was raised for meat, to provide meat for a family, and good meat, healthy meat, has been treated well on a farm, has been given attention, and it produces the best kind of food for a family.
People don't always get an up-close look at how their food goes from farms to tables. But here at Washington Grown, we are proud to take you to those places. That's it for this episode of Washington Grown. Thanks for watching.